On behalf of NAIOP, it is my honor to present Majestic Realty Company with 2015 Developer of the Year Award. Ed Roski, Majestic President and Chairman of the Board, is accepting the award today.
Good morning, and thank you for being here today. Whenever you receive an award, it makes you reflect back on the journey that brought you to this place. As I was preparing for this event, I started to look back over the course of my career. You saw a little bit of that history in the video that just played. But I'd like to tell you more about 4 of the images in that video. Let's start with the good news. The good news is that sideburns have made a comeback. The bad news is my hair hasn't. Here you can see a project backed by Bank of America. My question is, would you really lend money to a guy who wears that suit? In this photo, you can see Magic and myself, 2 owners of the Los Angeles Lakers, arm wrestling over who will be in charge of picking the Laker girls. And this one, Shaq. He's the one wearing the hard hat. He's in charge of labor negotiations for Staples Center. We knew it would come in on time and on budget because the project was in very good hands. Better push that one. Okay. That's enough about the distant past. Let's talk about the recent past. I hope you all enjoyed the Hockey Hall of Fame last night. I didn't grow up playing ice hockey in Southern California, but I learned to love the sport after becoming an owner of the Los Angeles Kings. While watching the great like Wayne Gretzky and Luc Robitaille, I became a fan, and they became my friends. Many probably think they were voted into the Hall of Fame for their individual achievements, but they would be the first to tell you that their incredible careers were a result of a collective effort. They have several teammates whose names will never grace a record book or be revered in the Hall of Fame. But they would have never reached the pinnacle of their profession without talented teammates who made the plays, who passed the puck, and who defended with diligence. Our company has even adopted Gretzky's philosophy, which is, a good hockey player plays where the puck is. A great hockey player plays where the puck is going to be. That's because it takes teamwork to stay ahead of the curve, ahead of the pack, ahead of the competition. There's something very special about the extraordinary chemistry of a great team. When challenges threaten to pull them apart, they find ways to band together. When things don't go as planned, they act quickly to set a new strategy. When the chips are down, they raise to the occasion, taking calculated risk that would lead to great rewards. And when the going gets tough, they push through the pain and endure. At Majestic Realty, we've been blessed with talented individuals who are also exceptional teammates. Every day, they bring a diverse set of skills and perspectives, but they're always working for the common goal, to be the very best, to set a higher standard, and continue the climb that leads to the top. This isn't a new mindset. It's something we inherited from our humble history. During World War II, my father served his country with great distinction. Like millions of men who survived the Great War, he had seen his share of destruction. When his generation returned home, all they wanted to do was build. And build they did. They built small businesses and large corporations. They built houses that huddled together in the suburbs and skyscrapers that stood like giants against the horizon in cities. They built highways and freeways and airports that linked our town and cities in ways they had never been connected before. Together, through their hard work and ingenuity, they built modern America and our modern world. When my father returned home, he saw great opportunities in California. In 1948, he had the vision to start a small company with a majestic name. Looking back, it may have been less the name of a company and more an aspiration. That's because Majestic Realty began with a single lease transaction. Sometimes I wonder what my father would think if he could see our company today. I'd like to think that he'd be proud it's grown from a single transaction to the single largest privately held commercial real estate company in the United States. I'd like to think that he'd be amazed that we develop and own over 78 million square feet of space. And I'd like to think that he'd be honored that hundreds of people over nearly 7 decades have given so much to make Majestic Realty what it is today. While it would be tempting to take our foot off the gas and go on cruise control, we're picking up the pace and picking up new projects like never before. When I started working at Majestic Realty, a large building would have been 50,000 square feet. Today, it's not unusual for projects beyond 1 million square feet. But it's just not that buildings are bigger. They're better not just for our company, but also for the local community. One example is our Passion Project in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. In a moment, you'll hear from our keynote speaker, Tom Ridge, who is the former governor of Pennsylvania. When he won re-election in 1998, he received the largest share of the vote for a Republican governor in more than half a century. And he did that in a state where Democrats outnumbered Republicans by 500,000 voters. So even though he may not have shared the same views with all those voters, he was popular with the people because he brought them together to focus on a common cause. And his vibrant and visionary leadership totally transformed that state. Governor Ridge knows as well as anyone that with the demise of the Steel Belt, many believed it would become the Rust Belt. We watched people lost their jobs and their pensions and eventually their hope. But when other companies lamented that great towns had turned into ghost towns, we looked at the area through a different lens. We stopped focusing on what had happened and started noticing what could be. We saw the promise and the potential. We listened to the community's ambitions and aspirations. And we believed that together we could write a new chapter of recovery and renewal that would bring the Lehigh Valley back to life. With the help of many people in the private industry and the public sector, we began to develop a vision that became a plan. And soon, ideas that existed only on blueprints became buildings that created hundreds of permanent positions. And that's what all this is really about. While Majestic Realty has had an incredible year, it's about what all of us in this industry do year after year. We look at a community and see not what exists, but what it could become. We see not what went wrong, but rather what we can make right. Day by day, project by project, community by community, we're restoring the dreams of so many people around the country. We help people get back on their feet and get back to work. We help towns that were dying come back to life. We help communities that were crumbling build a better future. I'm very grateful for all the people throughout the decades who have helped our company receive this very special honor. Thanks to their tremendous teamwork, they have proven that a person can start and create a company with little more than a vision and passion. And from that humble beginning, it can grow into from a single lease transaction to receiving this singular honor. It's the enduring effort of this talented team that has helped Majestic Realty transform from an aspiration to an inspiration. This morning, our team thanks you all for this great honor, and we thank you for the great work that you do each and every day. Thank you.